Has been in the U.S. Navy for 8 years, and he has 2 years left. So it's a U.S. Navy man going up against the Soviet national. He calls the human wrecking ball. Announcer was Fred Lewis, and let me introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to our ring announcer tonight, Fred Lewis.
These bouts are sanctioned by weighing in at 159¼ pounds, fighting out of Richmond, California, with a professional record of 1 win and 2 defeats. We have Tairon King. His opponent fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks. He weighed in at 160 pounds, from Vladimir, the Soviet Union, now boxing out of New York City with a professional record of 2 wins, no defeats, 2 knockouts. Here is Viktor Егоров. 4 rounds. These are middleweight.
The only thing I'm going to tell you now is when I tell you to stop, I want you to stop. When I tell you to break, I want you to break and break clean.
Soviet national titles, but runner-up in the European Championships and the World Cup. And we may add, Sean, that these Soviet fighters are not the best amateurs in the Soviet Union. They are not the Olympic champions, but these are the ones who are available. They're just a step under that. They're available to come over and involved with promoter Lou Falsino in a 3-year deal here in America. And it's Tairon King out of the Navy, stationed here in San Diego. Been in the Navy 8 years. He had a fine amateur career. Matter of fact, his father owned a local gym in the Bay Area. But then with his action in the Navy, actually stayed out of boxing for about 7 years. And he just turned pro, 3 fights, and he's giving Егоров some action very quickly in the first round.
And here's what happens to a fighter when they don't warm up properly before the fight. Егоров is still cold, and he's caught cold in this fight.
Speaking of caught cold, Tairon King in his last fight floored 3 times and was stopped in the 3rd round. He says after that fight he knows to get started sooner and stay off the ropes. Well, so far he has gotten started sooner, and he has not been on the ropes. 1 minute into the first round. This is a scheduled 4-rounder.
And this is rather unusual. We've got 2 southpaws fighting in the ring. Southpaws, a rarity in boxing. Although we do see a lot, but we see a lot of fights. And now we've got 2 of them against each other. And it is difficult even for a left-hander to face another left-hander. You're not used to seeing that left-handed stance. For this first round, Viktor Егоров starting off real slow. They've tried to settle Егоров down some. They don't want him to spend all of his energy early in the fight. But he's got to start spending some of that energy now.
Soviet fighters essentially don't have a body attack, very head conscious.
And you know, we're seeing a good body attack in this round. That's one of the things that...
Oh! And that puts Tairon King down.
5, 6, 7. You okay? You okay? You all right? Yeah. All right. You want to go on? Yeah, we'll go. Box.
Let's go, says Tairon King. And now Егоров lands again. King is staggered, and it is over. Just wind him up and send him in. It looked like Егорov got off to a slow start. And he puts a second first-round knockout back-to-back. Tommy Gallagher, the trainer out of New York, is handling the Soviets in Yonkers. And 2 times King goes down in the first round, and that is it for Tairon King. Egorov's 2nd consecutive first-round KO.
And Егоров had to fight back. Once he got those motors going, those loosening up of those arms and get to working, then he was okay. Stood there and took too many shots wide open. Got to move his head a little bit more. Here is a look at that knockdown, the first one in this first round. Early in this round, Егоров was eating a lot of leather, but finally he came back. Now that That knockdown did not look like a major knockdown. A little left hook to the body.
Just as we were talking about the Soviets being too conscious of going to the head and not to the body. And then just moments later in the first round.
Now this was a better shot. Right there, Tyrone King got hit and went down. The first knockdown was a little questionable. But that second one wasn't questionable. Wind him up, let him go. That's what Tommy Gallagher said they were going to do. Tyrone King not looked like he wanted to be in this fight after he got hit, after he tasted the power. Has a little bit of a suspect chin known to have in boxing.
Also, speaking of suspect with Egorov, the trainer's talking about
the winner by knockout with his third consecutive KO from the Soviet Union, we have Viktor Егоров.
Advertised as punishing. He certainly was to Tyrone King tonight. And Egorov, one of the Soviets, again looking to step up in opposition, but I have a feeling that'll come down the road. For our local cable systems, we'll pause now for these messages.